What did Allah know about the human being that even the angels did not know? They saw corruption, they saw bloodshed, they saw the danger of human freedom. But Allah saw something else, something hidden within Adam that had not yet been revealed. And when it was revealed, the meaning of human existence could no longer be seen in the same way. Assalamu alaikum, and welcome back to Reflection, where we explore the deeper meanings, insights, and realities revealed in the Qur'an. In our last episode, we reflected on the story of Adam and the garden. We saw that the descent to earth was not outside the divine plan. Human life on earth had already been announced before Adam entered the garden. But that raises a deeper question. Why was a human being chosen for this role at all? The angels understood the danger. A creature living within the conditions of earthly life, possessing freedom, desire, and competing impulses, could cause corruption and shed blood. So when Allah announced that He would place a vicegerent upon the earth, the angels asked, وَإِذْ قَالَ رَبُّكَ لِلْمَلَائِكَةِ إِنِّي جَاعِلٌ فِي الْأَرْضِ خَلِيفَةً قَالُوا أَتَجْعَلُ فِيهَا مَنْ يُفْسِدُ فِيهَا وَيَسْفِكُ الدِّمَاءَ وَنَحْنُ نُسَبِّحُ بِحَمْدِكَ وَنُقَدِّسُ لَكَ قَالَ إِنِّي أَعْلَمُ مَا لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. When your Lord said to the angels, "Indeed, I'm going to set a vicegerent on the earth," they said, "Will you set in it someone who will cause corruption in it and shed blood, while we celebrate your praise and proclaim your sanctity?" He said, "Indeed, I know what you do not know." That final response changes the entire direction of the story. I know what you do not know. What did the angels not know? What was hidden within Adam? What were the names that Allah taught him? And why did that knowledge reveal the true meaning of human vicegerency? In this episode of Reflection, we will explore why the angels were concerned about humanity, what Allah knew that they did not know, what the teaching of the names revealed, and why knowledge lies at the heart of human responsibility. The angels' question was not an objection. It was not a challenge to Allah's wisdom. It was an attempt to understand. They understood something about earthly life. A creature living within the material world, possessing desire, anger, and the freedom to choose, would also carry the possibility of conflict, the possibility of injustice, the possibility of corruption, and the possibility of bloodshed. Their concern was real. Human history would later reveal just how real it was. But the danger they perceived was not the whole truth about the human being. The angels said, أَتَجْعَلُ فِيهَا مَنْ يُفْسِدُ فِيهَا وَيَسْفِكُ الدِّمَاءَ وَنَحْنُ نُسَبِّحُ بِحَمْدِكَ وَنُقَدِّسُ لَكَ. Will you set in it someone who will cause corruption in it and shed blood, while we celebrate your praise and proclaim your sanctity? Their words contain another important question. If vicegerency were based only upon worship, glorification, and freedom from corruption, then the angels would appear more suited to it. They already celebrated Allah's praise. They already proclaimed His sanctity. They did not shed blood. So why appoint the human being? Allah does not deny their understanding. He does not say that humanity will never corrupt the earth. He does not say that human beings will never shed blood. Instead, He says, إِنِّي أَعْلَمُ مَا لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. Indeed, I know what you do not know. The angels understood the conditions of earthly life, but they did not yet know everything Allah had placed within the human being. They saw the danger. Allah knew the hidden capacity. Consider this. When I look at the human being, do I see only what we have become, or also what Allah created us capable of becoming? Allah does not answer the angels by describing humanity's future achievements. He does not list the prophets, the righteous, the martyrs, or those who would devote their lives to truth. Instead, He points to the limits of their knowledge. قَالَ إِنِّي أَعْلَمُ مَا لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. He said, indeed, I know what you do not know. This does not mean that the angels knew nothing about the human being. They understood the dangers connected with earthly life, but their knowledge did not encompass the entire purpose of humanity. They could not yet see what Allah had placed within Adam. Their knowledge belonged to their own created station, and every created being knows only what Allah enables it to know. The angels saw what could emerge from the human being's lower impulses. Allah knew what could emerge when those same faculties were guided by truth. The capacity to know, to choose, to resist, to return, and to rise. This is why Allah's answer does not dismiss the angel's concern. It places that concern within a larger reality. Human freedom makes corruption possible, but that same freedom also makes obedience meaningful. Desire can lead the human being downward, but when disciplined, it can become the means of sacrifice. Anger can become oppression, but when governed by justice, it can become courage. The human being carries the possibility of both descent and ascent. The angels saw one side of that possibility. Allah knew the whole. And the next verse would reveal the hidden capacity that made this earthly creature worthy of such an extraordinary trust. Pause there. Do I treat my weakness as the definition of who I am, or as faculties that must be guided towards the purpose Allah created for me? The answer begins with an act of teaching. وَعَلَّمَ آدَمَ الْأَسْمَاءَ كُلَّهَا. And he taught Adam the names, all of them. At first glance, the verse may sound simple. Adam was taught the names of things. But according to ʿAllāmah Ṭabāṭabāqqī in Tafsir al-Mīzān, the verse points to something far deeper. These names were not merely words, not labels attached to animals, plants, or physical objects. They refer to realities belonging to the deeper order of creation, realities connected with the unseen of the heavens and the earth. The Qur'an does not give us a list of these names, because the purpose is not to tell us which words Adam learned. The purpose is to reveal what Adam was capable of receiving. Allah had placed within the human being a capacity to know beyond the surface of things, to see creation not only as matter, but as sign, not only as appearance, but as meaning, not only as something that exists, but as something that points towards its creator. And notice something important. The angels were not intermediaries in this teaching. Allah taught Adam directly. The knowledge that established Adam's rank was not borrowed from the angels. It was not produced by his physical senses alone. It was a gift from Allah, a knowledge corresponding to a capacity that Allah had placed within him. This was the beginning of the answer. The angels had seen what the human being could do upon the earth. But now Allah was revealing what the human being could know. Reflect on this. Do I look at creation only for what it gives me? Or do I allow it to lead me towards the one who gave it meaning? After teaching Adam the names, Allah presented them to the angels. ثُمَّ عَرَضَهُمْ عَلَى الْمَلَائِكَةِ فَقَالَ أَنْبِئُونِي بِأَسْمَاءِ هَؤُلَاءِ إِن كُنْتُمْ صَادِقِينَ. Then he presented them to the angels and said, "Tell me the names of these, if you are truthful." This was not merely a test of memory. It was a disclosure of their limits. The angels had understood one part of the human being. They had seen the danger of earthly existence, but they had not been given knowledge of the realities now placed before them. And their response is remarkable. They do not argue. They do not defend their earlier conclusion. They do not pretend to know what they do not know. They say, قالوا سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. They said, "Immaculate are you. We have no knowledge except what you have taught us. Indeed, you are the all-knowing, the all-wise." Their first word is, "Immaculate are you." They declare Allah free from error, free from deficiency, and free from any flaw in His wisdom. Then they acknowledge their own limitation. We have no knowledge except what you have taught us. This is true humility. Not the denial of what one knows, but the recognition of where all knowledge comes from. The angels understand that knowledge is not an independent possession. It is received, given, measured according to the capacity and station of each created being. Their response also reveals something about the path to truth. When confronted with a reality beyond their understanding, they submit. They allow divine wisdom to correct the limits of their own perspective. And this is what separates humility from pride. The humble person says, "I do not yet know." The proud person assumes what I do not understand cannot be true. The angels had raised a question, but when Allah revealed the limits of their knowledge, their question became submission. Think about this. When truth challenges what I already believe, do I respond with humility or do I defend myself before I have understood? Only after the angels acknowledge the limits of their knowledge does Allah turn to Adam. قال يا آدم أنبئهم بأسمائهم فلما أنبأهم بأسمائهم قال ألم أقل لكم إني أعلم غيب السماوات والأرض وأعلم ما تبدون وما كنتم تكتمون. He said, "O Adam, inform them of their names." And when he had informed them of their names, he said, "Did I not tell you that I know the unseen of the heavens and the earth, and that I know whatever you disclose and whatever you conceal?" Now the answer begins to unfold. Adam reveals a knowledge that the angels themselves had not been taught. This was not simply the ability to remember words. It was the capacity to receive the knowledge Allah had given him, to understand it, and to make it known. And this capacity helps us understand why Adam was appointed as vicegerent. But the word vicegerent must be understood carefully. It does not mean that Adam replaces Allah or that the human being possesses authority independent of him. A vicegerent remains completely dependent upon the one who appoints him. The knowledge belongs to Allah. The authority belongs to Allah. The guidance belongs to Allah. Adam's distinction lies in his capacity to receive that trust and to act upon the earth in accordance with it. This is why vicegerency is not merely a position of honor. It is a responsibility. To know creation not as something independent of Allah, but as something sustained by Him. To exercise freedom without becoming a slave to desire. To cultivate the earth without corrupting it. To seek justice rather than domination. And to reflect divine qualities such as knowledge, mercy, wisdom, and justice within the limits of human existence. The same being capable of shedding blood is also capable of protecting life. The same freedom that can lead to rebellion can become conscious obedience. This is what the angels had not yet seen. They saw the danger of human freedom. Allah knew what that freedom could become when guided by knowledge. Adam therefore reveals not what every human being automatically is, but what the human being has been created capable of becoming. The capacity belongs to humanity, but its fulfillment requires guidance, discipline, humility, and submission to Allah. Vicegerency is not a declaration that humanity may dominate the earth. It is a trust to live upon the earth responsibly while remaining connected to the truth beyond it. And this is why knowledge lies at the heart of the human purpose. Not knowledge that produces arrogance, not knowledge pursued only for control, but knowledge that reveals dependence, deepens responsibility, and brings a human being closer to Allah. Ask yourself, is the knowledge I pursue helping me fulfill my responsibility before Allah, or is it only increasing my sense of power? So what does all of this reveal? First, the angels saw a real danger within earthly life. They saw corruption, conflict, and bloodshed. But they did not yet see the full capacity Allah had placed within the human being. Second, the teaching of the names was not merely the teaching of words. It revealed Adam's capacity to receive knowledge of realities beyond material appearance and to understand creation in relation to his divine source. Third, the angels responded to the limits of the knowledge with humility. We have no knowledge except what you have taught us. True knowledge does not make a person self-sufficient. It makes them more aware of their dependence upon Allah. And fourth, vicegerency is not a license to dominate the earth. It's a trust, a responsibility to unite knowledge with justice, freedom with discipline, and earthly life with divine guidance. So the deepest question is not simply, why did Allah choose the human being? It is, what am I doing with the capacity He has placed within me? But one question still remains. If Adam's knowledge revealed a capacity the angels had not seen, why were they commanded to prostrate before Him? Was this an act of worship, or was the prostration directed towards something deeper, something Allah had revealed through Adam? That is what we'll explore in next episode of Reflection. Why did the angels prostrate? If this reflection stayed with you, share it. Help someone begin their own journey. And join us again as we continue exploring the wisdom of the Qur'an. Until next time, wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.